Now let us start with numericals with equations of motion. Right? We have studied three equations of motion. First is V is equal to U plus AT. Second is S is equal to UT plus half AT square. And the third is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Always remember, whenever time is not given and if we have to calculate position, we always use, or distance, we always use third equation of motion. And if time is given, then we use first and second equations of motion. Okay. Now let us start with the question. A bus starting from rest moves with uniform acceleration. Now bus starting from rest, what is zero? I told you in my notes that when something starts from rest, its initial speed, that is u, is equal to 0. Now moves with uniform acceleration. Acceleration is given 0.1 meter per second square and time is 2 minutes. 2 minutes means 120 seconds. Now what we have to calculate? Find the speed, that is we have to calculate the final speed v, and second is the distance traveled, that is s. Okay. Now for calculating the speed, we know first equation of motion will be used, that is v is equal to u plus at. Now we know u is equal to 0, so v is equal to 0 plus, instead of a we will write 0.1 into time is 120 seconds. So 0 plus 0.1 into 120. Decimal remove karne se we will put 10 below that. So 0 cancelled with 0. We are left with only 12. So answer will be v is equal to 12 meter per second. Okay. Now for calculating distance, just now I told you, if time is given, then we use second equation of motion, and if time is not given, then we use third equation of motion. Now since here time is given, so to calculate position or distance, we will use second equation of motion, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square. Now we know u is 0, time is 120 plus half, a is 0.1 into 120 square. Time is 120, it's t square. So 120 square. Okay. Now we know anything multiplied by 0 will be 0 plus half into 0.1. When we remove decimal, we put 10 over there. So 1 upon 10 into 120 into 120. Now we cancel this 0 with this 0 and this 2 with this 12, that will be 6. So we are left with only 120 into 6, that is 720 meters. So answer is 720 meters. Okay. Let us solve some more examples of this. Now the next is, a train is traveling at a speed of 90 km per hour. Now remember, it's traveling. So initial velocity will be 90 km per hour. Brakes are applied. When brakes are applied, v becomes 0. Final velocity becomes 0. So brakes are applied so as to produce a uniform acceleration of minus, since brakes are applied, that is why acceleration is negative, 0.5 meter per second square. Find how far the train will go before it brought to rest. So we have to calculate again how far, means we have to calculate the distance. Okay. Now since acceleration is given in seconds, speed is given in kilometer per hour, first we have to change kilometer per hour into meter per second. Now initial speed is equal to u is equal to 90 km per hour. I told you in my previous lessons that to convert kilometer per hour, we have to multiply it by 1000 upon 3600, which after cancelling becomes 5 upon 18. So it is 90 into 5 upon 18. 18 is cut with 90 by 5. So 5 into 5, we are left with 25 meter per second. So the initial velocity u is 25 meter per second. Acceleration is given 0.5 meter per second square. Now we have to calculate distance. How far means we have to calculate distance s. Now I told you in the previous question, whenever their time is not given, we always use third equation of motion. That is 2as is equal to v square minus u square. 2 is given, 2 is 2 into a is minus 0.5 into s is equal to, we know v is equal to 0. 0 minus u is 25 square. Okay. Now 2 into 0.5, if we multiply, it is only 1 into s minus 625. This minus cancel with this minus. So we are left with s is equal to 625 upon 1. That is s is equal to 625 meter. Okay. Now let us solve one more example based on equation of motion, so that it should be clear to all of you. Okay. Again is, a stone is thrown in a vertical upward direction. Stone is thrown upward with a velocity of 5 meter per second. Now always remember, when something is thrown upward, its final velocity becomes 0. So v is equal to 0 and initial velocity is 5 meter per second. Stone during its motion is, acceleration of the stone during its motion is 10 meter per second square. Now here acceleration is minus 10 meter we have taken. Why minus? Because stone is thrown upward. That means we are doing work against gravity. Always remember, whenever we do work against gravity, acceleration becomes negative. Okay. Now a is minus 10 meter per second square. What will be the height? Height means distance attained by the stone and how much time will it take to reach there. And we have to calculate time also. Again, since time is not given, we will use third equation of motion. 2 into minus 10 into s is equal to 0 minus 5 square. So minus and minus will be cancelled. 20s is equal to 25. S is equal to 25 upon 20. That becomes 1.25 meter. Now we know v, we know s. We can use for calculating time, we will use first equation of motion. V is 0, u is 5, a is minus 10 into t. Now if we take minus 10 that side, minus 10t that side, that will come positive. Plus 10t is equal to 5. T is equal to 5 upon 10. That is equal to half second or 0.5 seconds. I hope this is clear to all of you. Thank you.